What's up, and welcome back to the Heels and Quads podcast.
Heels and Quads Media, the home of the metalheads. Raising the horns up high as the heavy music spreads.
What's the deal with their touring schedule? My Seinfeld moment.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean, what's the deal with it? What's the deal with Metallica's touring schedule?
It feels like this 72 seasons thing that they've got going. It feels like there's so many legs, but it's like, okay, we're gonna play 100 shows, and then we're gonna stop for 2 weeks, and then we're gonna play 50 shows, and then it's like a lot of bands that do legs of tours. It's like they stop for 3 months in between, but Metallica, it's like we take an hour off and we're off to another show.
They don't want to be home.
I don't get it.
I think they just don't like being home.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
and it really bothers me.
That's a lot of touring. And then it'll be another 15 years before they release an album.
And then they'll do 6 shows randomly, and they'll give people 6 days notice that they're gonna do it. It's the 6 and 6 tour.
I mean, I guess when you are who they are, you can do that.
It's just crazy to me to fucking sell out stadiums and shit and just not. It seems like there's no notice, and maybe there is, and I just don't know.
2 weeks off, 60 shows, 3 weeks off. That's funny, man. Yeah,
16
they do.
16 shows, an hour off.
And what's the deal with their ticket price? What's the deal? It's like, I gotta put food on the table, but I also gotta see Metallica.
It's like, what's the deal? Why is not Pantera still opening these shows? Would I go? Yes. Am I paying the prices for tickets? Not for anybody. I'm not paying for concerts anymore.
It was last year, the year before, I was like, I want to see Metallica. They're going to be wherever it was, Kansas City, something like that. I don't remember, Dallas. And I was like, oh shit, nosebleeds are $300. And then it was Tool. I wanted to see Tool in Tulsa. Nosebleeds are $300. I'm like, what?
I'm having the same issue right now. What's the deal? Is it this weekend or next weekend? The Stones are playing in fucking Branson. The Rolling Stones. And as soon as it was announced, I was like, holy shit, we gotta get tickets. And then I saw the ticket prices. I was like, no, we don't. Because the lawn is $400. I'm like, I'm not paying $1,000 to not even be able to see.
The Stones, you know? Because they will sell it at
fuck yeah, dude. And they literally,
Branson, it's such a tourist
you
area.
gave people 3 weeks notice, but it doesn't matter.
Because you're the Stones.
You're the Rolling Stones. And, I was like, told Amanda, I was like, this might be our last chance to ever see him. And it just sucks. I hate it. I hate knowing that and not going.
And I'm not going to sit here and bitch about ticket prices because of inflation. But it's does music, and does it inflate? How does that inflate ticket prices? That groceries are expensive?
It's not that. It's because they don't make money anywhere else, and those... I call them legacy artists. I don't want to say retro. I don't want to say old. Legacy is the right word. But you're gonna pay to see them because if you are a collector, you have the albums, or you're in the process of getting the albums, and they don't put new shit out or a lot of bands don't, because they know nobody wants the new shit. They just want greatest hits. But there are still bands. Metallica just, not too long ago, we did that. And then, the Stones had one. I did a video on that. Bon Jovi just came out with a new record, which was number 5 on Billboard for a week, and then it completely fell off the charts.
You'll get a wave. It's every year you get a wave of every year you get a wave of legacy artists put out music, and then they're 8-10 years later, whatever. It's just every year there's a wave of them that I care about, and then that's it. But I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly.
No, you are. Because I'm going to add to what you said. Because the legacy artists that we grew up with, Kiss, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Rolling Stones, all of those bands are getting to the point now, Kiss, and I'm sure Maiden is not far behind, unfortunately, and I'm probably never going to get to see them live, which still pisses me off. But all those bands are going to start either not touring anymore, or I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I'm going towards. not being here anymore. And then bands like now, like Creed, all of a sudden got so big, and
coming back.
I don't understand how they got so big, like again overnight. And it was like, I guess it was TikTok or Instagram
because
of something.
It was TikTok, yeah. It was the videos of the "Can you take?"
But it's like I don't care.
I know it's crazy, man. And then you got. So I started that Nickelback documentary on Netflix, Hate to Love or Love to Hate, whatever.
Were you in it?
It was like, yeah.
What was the song you sang on that video?
What was
it? Was the trend that was going where like people pull up.
Won't open up for me. Something. No, that wasn't it because I knew more lyrics.
Pussy lips won't open up for me. Is that what you just said?
Or was it?
Ain't my bitch.
Something. Oh yeah, something with something in your mouth.
I don't think
you
that
look
was
so much cuter with something in your mouth.
Oh yeah, I think that was
something like that. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Dude, like it's just strange. They sell so many.
I'm just pissed. I guess
people act like they hate them.
I guess it's me because even when I was a kid, I was listening to said legacy artists, so I didn't really like the bands that were coming out. So now it's like I'm like, but I also still listen to Elvis and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and shit like that. So it's, I guess I'm aging myself out. And not on purpose. Like, I can't help what I like and what I don't like.
But so I'm going through this right now where like the the new metal trend was like I listened to it when it was happening and Metallica
like Limp Bizkit.
Some of the 90s stuff. Bizkit, yeah. And then it went then there was a phase through the 2000s and 2010s where that was cringe and you didn't listen to it. And now it's coming back because people are finding out how fucking badass it was.
Right.
And that it was innovative.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That new metal era laid the groundwork for a lot of the modern metal right now. Like the low tune guitars and the experimental shit, the synths added to it. Like a lot of that, and I know that's been going on forever, but like new metal like it did a lot for the metal world and the rock world, you know? And post-hardcore, post-alternative,
it was
all that
topping
shit,
charts too. It was topping charts. Limp Bizkit, Korn, Linkin Park, all those bands. I don't know if you consider them new metal, but
I mean they have it.
But what I'm thinking is like you're like me. Yeah, there's those moments where stuff that was popular isn't popular anymore, but you're like me in a sense where it doesn't matter what we listen to. Like we're not ever going to be like, oh, that's not cool anymore, so I'm not listening to that. Or that's not cool anymore. That's not cool anymore, so I'm not telling people that I like that. No, that's stupid.
No.
To me, that's dumb. Like I just
I like what I like.
Trends alone. I mean, I get it. Like I try to do like some trendy videos and stuff, but that's like me like appreciating what somebody else is doing and be like, oh, I can do that too, and just navigate it to my style. Like the vinyl videos that I've done, which nobody watches. But it's like
it's unfortunate because they're very good videos,
and they're fun to watch, but even watch back.
It's fun for you to do.
Yeah, because I'm showing what I appreciate and my difference. Like I had Neil Diamond on there, King Diamond. I just did my Frank record that I got for Father's Day for myself. But yeah, it's like I don't know, just trends, and I think that's where I was going with the Hot to a thing earlier. Is like just trends alone are just like ridiculous sometimes.
Trends are ridiculous, but trends will also like at some point a trend might be like, oh, Kiss is all of a sudden the trend, like because it's these new generations find these things back then that were cool, which is like right now this whole. Like the 80s synthwave and the 80s, look at the glasses. Yeah. Like this stuff is coming back because people are realizing like that stuff was cool. Yeah. The shit now, like what's cool now is stuff that was cool back then.
That's like.
Because people are realizing that like there's no more ideas are going by the wayside too. Like there's.
Well, like movies. They can't make regular new movies anymore. It's all reboots and rehashes of
or just a rehash of another film.
Mm-hmm.
Like every movie is like the same plot, but yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
I am ready for Twisters.
Do you remember? It was probably like 2 summers ago. We were doing a show, and I had just went to Walmart maybe the day before, and I was like, it was like fucking 90210 threw up in there, and then that kind of went to what we talked about, maybe the last show or the show before that, where we were talking about how the oversized shirts and the loose shorts and stuff like that are popular now. And it's like, it took like 2 years for it to like actually catch up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. Just trends.
I think some of the stuff.
And how it's all coming back. Which, I mean, I'm happy that at least it's stuff that like I grew up in and I can be like, oh yeah, I remember when that was popular the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like I've always been a fan, like throughout the 2000s when I was growing up in late 90s, whatever, like I was into the 80s and the 90s. So I'm always like a decade behind.
Yeah.
And like now, so what's weird now? We're in the 2020s. I'm catching myself watching like late 2000s WWE and like looking at like late 2000s, like when metalcore was blown up when I was in high school, and I listened to it, but now I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That band was really fucking popular. The MySpace era.
Yeah.
And like the 2010, like, so it's weird. You're always, that nostalgia kicks where you're like, you kind of go back and you're like, oh man, I forgot how good that was.
Yeah.
Or like some things, maybe things just age better than they were in the present. Because there's some stuff that's like I've been watching a shitload of Uncle Terry matches. I've been really getting into like old Uncle Terry matches, and they're all the same.
Yeah,
but I fucking love it. Like,
it's fun.
It's the most ridiculous. I watched him and Vader this morning. That was fun. I watched him and Flair. I watched the Cage one and the Bash at the Beach one. Like, I'm watching. I don't know, and not just wrestling, but that's just one thing that I can relate to. But yeah, it's like I go through phases too, where like stuff that 15 years ago is cool, and like my high school stuff, and like, oh my god, I was into that, and it's, I don't know, man. It's just,
I know what you're saying.
I think it's always gonna be that way. These kids that are growing up
like,
now
what they're
are gonna be like, oh man, the 2000s were kind of cool.
Yeah,
but I wasn't there for it. Yeah. You know.
So we're gonna do everything they did, just a little bit different.
Yeah, pretty much. And so hopefully that'll get rid of some of this bogus shit that's going on, but I won't get into that. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. So be sure to tell your friends.
Tell your enemies.